Hello everyone and welcome to another episode where we carry on the story of Gris Thunderstorm. So let's just catch up with where we are. So if we go to our hero panel and click on the story journal, we get an overview of the character himself. I won't go over that again, but we will look at the story journal. So we haven't done much yet, and we'll look at all of these other bits until we get to that part as they're part of Living World and the expansions and stuff like that. So, the Great Hunt. I hunted down prey for the Great Hunt, presented my trophies to the judges, and celebrated with my fellow hunters at the moot. Then I battled and defeated Isormir, the giant ice worm. These victories earned me glory and the right to call myself Slayer of Isormir. Soon, every Norn in Holbrack will soon be talking about me. So, safe to say I've probably butchered 500 pronunciations already. Hopefully I'm close enough though, and we won't do too much more. So, next we need to do a Weapon of Legends. But we can't do that until we get to level 10. So, as part of this run through, I'll keep things as standard as possible, so I won't use any of the mounts or gliding until we get that far in this story. But what I will do is I won't do the levelling up experience with you. I'll skip ahead and use these things here called Tomes of Knowledge. And we're just going to use 8 of those to get to level 10. So I'll skip through this as quick as possible.
Bow to me in my progress.
So that's us at level 10. You can see that here, we're level 10. Just something worth knowing about with Guild Wars is that the level, if you're higher level than the area you're in, you'll always get downscaled to that level. So it's always good to go back and help new people, etc., because you will be the same level as them as you're running around. And a few things happened there. So first of all, we gained a lot of these little diamond things. And if we click on these, they'll give us our rewards for leveling. So I'm just going to quickly go through these. So we've got ourselves a leather bag. And we've got ourselves a third weapon skill. In this case, our Wing Eruption. We'll have a look at that when we get to it. We've unlocked Rallying, so I'll go through that once we get up to our first downstay. We've unlocked another weapon. So let's pick a sword. And we've unlocked vistas, which are kind of like sightseeing spots that unlock parts of the map and are good for map completion. And the Black Line Trading Company, which is the player-to-player trading. We've unlocked underwater weapons, so we'll equip those in a minute. And equip some gathering tools, so we'll put those on in a minute. And we've unlocked the next stage in Living Story. Personal Story, sorry. So we can see what's coming up soon. Let's sort out our inventory. So we've got ourselves a bag, so that's a few more spots. We can equip ourselves a sword. So we've equipped that as an offhand sword. So we've got main hand mace and offhand sword. We've got ourselves a spear, which is for underwater. An aqua breather for underwater. They're not actually needed to make you go underwater, but they give you extra stats and stuff, and they replace the headgear. So we'll use that still. And that's our inventory clean again. Good stuff. So, the other thing that happened is we got ourselves a mail. But in the mail, we got a mail from Bygarth, the blacksmith. Hail, Slayer of Isormir. Heard of your victory in the Great Hunt, and Erstegalkin herself recommended I contact you. I have a challenge for you. One that will benefit us both if you're willing to meet it. I await your arrival at Byton Main in Holbrack, but glory waits for no Norn. Come see me, and I guarantee you both of our legends will grow. Bygarth the Blacksmith. Right then, so we need to go into Holbrack, and we need to go and see Bygarth. So, in between episodes, I cheated a little bit, and I ran to a city called Lion's Arch so I could go to the bank and get those Tomes of Knowledge. To do that, I went through Holbrack already, but let's go and see what this city's all about. Okay, so welcome to Holbrack. This is the home city of the Norn. So there's 5 home cities, one for the Norn, one for the humans, one for the Silvari, one for the Asura, and one for the Char. This is the one for the Norn. And we're just going to run past a few of these waypoints here, which is the quick travel system in Guild Wars. We're just going to collect a couple of these along the way just to speed things up as we go further on. And we're going to go to a place called the Great Lodge. So I'm just going to grab this waypoint over here. And then we're going to go to the Great Lodge itself. And I can never remember how to get down from here. So I'm going to cheat there and just glory to break my fall. We won't do that too much. It's just to... Oh, there you go. Should have gone down the stairs. Well, we know that for the future now. Let's go and speak to the man who wants to speak to us. So, what do you have to say, Bygarth?
I want to stay.
Bygarth the Smith, what would you have of this season's finest slayer?
Oh, you're mighty confident for one so young. Reminds me of me after I won the great hunt. Oh, but that was a long time ago. I chose smithing over hunting, and I never regretted it. Now, it's time to forge my masterpiece. A mighty weapon to break Jormag's tooth.
Nothing has so much as scratched the tooth in over 100 years. What makes you think you could craft such a thing?
Deldrimore steel. If I can get my hands on enough of it, I can make a weapon to shatter mountains. The secret of the alloy was lost with the dwarves, but I can smelt existing relics into the steel I need. Such artifacts have surfaced in a Jotun cave near Grollenfjord. Yeah, that's why I sent for you. If you can beat back the Jotun and collect the artifacts I need to forge the weapon, you might be worthy of bearing it. Interested?
Interested? Ha! I'm determined. Ready your forge for dwarven metal, Smithy.
Right, so we need to go get some Deldrimore steel so that we can build ourselves a new weapon. So, just a note here, this is the fang for one of the Elder Dragons, the Elder Dragon Jormag. We try and beat it up, we can't scratch it or do any damage to it. That'll come back up in the story a little bit further on. But for now, let's carry on and go get ourselves material. So, we've seen the mini-map here on the bottom right. We're now going to load the big map up, and we're going to fast travel a bit closer towards the sunburst where the next part of the story goes on. Just saves us a bit of time. Right, so back to Wayfarer Foothills. We've been here before. This is where we did the very first parts of the game. This time though, we're in the open world, we're not in a instance, so there's a lot more things for us to be able to do. So there are a lot of dynamic events and hearts going on in the maps at the moment. We can skip over all those because we've used the tomes to level up, but normally you'd have to go through all those to earn yourselves enough experience to get to the level you are. Anyway, let's enter the first part of the story, A Weapon of Legend. Okay, so you see straight away we're going to have to beat up some Jotun, so let's do that.
Tear your arms off and beat you to death with them.
Okay, so the Jotun are a race of giants that used to be one of the major races a long time ago, but they've since fallen, and we'll learn a bit about them in this story at the moment. So just a quick note on some of the bits of the combat of the game. So there are things such as condition fields, and then we can do something called a blast to that. So if we drop down a flame field and blast it, you can see we do a lot more damage and we gain a condition called might. Okay, so those guys did a lot more damage than the previous ones, but still nothing too major, and we didn't even have to use our heal skill, and now we're out of combat. We can see that the health is fully regenerated.
I need help! These ugly lumps mean to kill me! Such might! I can take care of myself from here, but there are more prisoners inside. Their sons dragged them in. And then I heard screams. Don't worry about me, help them.
Right, so he's run off now. Let's beat these Jotun up. And no match for us at the moment, so looks like we now need to go into this cave.
More places to make my legend.
Offering. A hunter who wandered too close. He is strong. His sacrifice will gain us power. We could butcher an entire homestead without this dragon. This ceremony is a waste. That faithless attitude is the reason for our decline. Don't be so eager to embrace ignorance. We live no better than animals. Ignorance is relying on others to save us. That will be our downfall.
Right then, so looks like we're going to have to go in here and attack this altar, and we've got a poor dead local on the ground. Still, let's go kill these Jotun. They do make some funny noises. We can see here we're under this boon called Might. That's going to increase our damage when we've got that, so we want to get as much Might as possible when possible.
Jormag, hear us. Give us the strength to reclaim our birthright.
So we've got some more dead people. And this is the weapon we're going to take. And it's asking us to investigate the shrine. So you can see we've got another dead person on the shrine. And if we investigate it, this crude shrine appears to be dedicated to the Elder Dragon Jormag. A recently deceased Norn is splayed across the altar. Right, so we have a few options here. We can pay respects to the fallen, we can leave the shrine, or we can spit on the shrine. This is an option here because we chose it on the first part of the story when we're setting it up. So let's do that. Your spit freezes in the air and shatters upon the cold stone of the altar. So let's leave the shrine. And we've got a choice now. We can either run back to the entrance of the instance, or we can use this button here to shortcut and leave. Okay, so the game is now asking us to go back to Holbrook, so that's fast travel. Sunburst is actually there for some reason, but I know we're going to go into the Great Lodge, so let's go to the Great Lodge. Okay, let's go see what Bygarth has to say for himself.
I brought your dwarven steel, blacksmith. I also saw the bodies of the other hunters you sent. Those Jotun are worshipping the ice dragon.
Bear's breath. I didn't know that. I'll take the steel off your hands, but I can't do anything about the Jotun. Though I do know someone who can. Do you know Erste Gulkin? Tall, beautiful, travels with a huge black wolf. She killed one of the ice dragon's strongest lieutenants.
Of course, she fought beside me against Isormir, and I've heard songs of her epic deeds at several moots.
She could help us. And not to be a gossip or anything, I hear she's taken quite an interest in you since the Great Hunt.
In me? Why?
To tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Perhaps you impressed her. In any case, ask her about these Jotun, and I'm sure she'll lend a hand.
Right, so it's time for us to go and meet Air. Let's go and do that. So most of the time when I'm walking through the cities or across the maps, etc., I'll try and be quiet and let you hear all the ambience, the creatures and the music and stuff, because the sound engineering in this game is beautiful. So I won't ruin that too much. So while we're here, let me just show you one of the vistas. So these are kind of like mini jumping puzzles that you can complete, and when you do so, you'll be rewarded with a vista. So once we get up here, we can press F and I'll let you see the site. So there you go. That unlocks part of the map. We can see we completed 25% of the vistas in Holbrook.
I challenged my wife to some axe throwing.
For good reason, I hope.
We were arguing and it just came out. If I beat her, she'll hate me. If I lose, I'll never hear the end of it.
Sounds like disaster brewing. I'll bring a keg and watch.
Some of the stuff that the Norm come out with is funny. Anyway, this is the next instance, so I think this will be a good place to end the episode. So we'll see you next time, guys. Bye bye.